guys, this week we are going to work plain brioche stitch in 2 colors. This is what it looks like, so let's jump right into it. In 2 color plain brioche we have 2 setup rows this time. I made a little swatch to make it easier to work, but it would be the same from the cast on edge. We are going to start with the contrasting color or the background color. So let's get started. I'm going to add a little selvage stitch just to have it lie flat when we have a look at it. So I'm gonna knit that, and then we purl the first stitch, slip 1 yarn over front, purl, slip 1 yarn over front, all the way to the other end of the row, and then work the selvage stitch. So as in plain brioche stitch, we've worked half of the stitches on our needle, and in 1 color brioche we would turn around and then work the second half. This time we are going to slip the stitches back to the other side of the needle and then work the second half of the stitches with our second color. I started with the orange because I want the blue to stay the dominant color in the forefront in the brioche column. So we knit our selvage stitch, slip with the yarn over, and then brioche knit. Slip 1 stitch with the yarn over, brioche knit. So it's the same rhythm as in single color brioche. So always work 1 stitch, slip 1 stitch with the yarn over, work 1 stitch, slip 1 stitch with the yarn over. You always work the yarn over and the stitch together. So now we've got both color strands of yarn on this side, finished all the stitches on the right side row, and now we are working the wrong side row. And again we start with our contrasting color. We knit the selvage stitch, and then we are going to brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, all the way to the end of the row. Again, we slip the stitches back to the other side of the needle. So we are going to work the selvage stitch, slip 1 stitch with the yarn over to the front, and then we brioche purl, slip 1 stitch with the yarn over, put the yarn to the front, brioche purl. And work the selvage stitch. So this is what the wrong side row is going to look like. We can also already see on this side the orange color is going to be dominant, and we purl those stitches. This is going to be the blue stitches are going to show up as a purl column, and on the right side it's the other way around, so the fabric is reversible. On the right side row we work the selvage stitch, and this time we are going to brioche purl the background color. Slip 1 stitch with the yarn over front, brioche purl, slip 1 stitch with the yarn over front, brioche purl. Again, we slip the stitches back to the other end of the needle, and then we work our main color. So this time we brioche knit, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, brioche knit. Oops. If you drop your yarn over, this is what it's gonna look like. You just pick it back up and then knit, brioche knit the stitch with the yarn over. So that's our second repeat finished. This is what it's going to look like. And this will be wrong side contrast color, or wrong side row 1. We knit our selvage stitch and then brioche knit, slip one yarn over with brioche knit, slip one yarn over all the way to the end. Once you get into the rhythm, you will find that it's always 2 rows of brioche knit and 2 rows of brioche purl stitches. So we had the second row of the right side, we brioche knit, and on the first row on the wrong side, we brioche knit, and then on the we have 2 rows of brioche purl afterwards. The second row on the wrong side is going to be purled, and the first row on the right side is purled as well. So brioche knit, we work the selvage stitch, we slide our stitches back to the other side of the needle, and we work our wrong side row 2, or the wrong side row main color. We slip 1 stitch with a yarn over to the front, brioche purl, slip 1 stitch with a yarn over to the front, brioche purl, all the way to the end of the row. And this is what it looks like after 2 full repeats of the right side and wrong side row. This is the wrong side, and this is what it looks like on the right side. As I've mentioned before, you can play around with color and you can use as many colors as you want. So I thought I'm just going to go ahead and show that too. I'm going to change my background color from orange to pink. We are on the right side on the first row, on the contrast color row. So we are working our savage stitch. We just use this is the one where we worked the contrast color. It was the orange before. This time I'm going to use pink, and then we brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over brioche purl, just like we did before. We slide our stitches back to the other side, and then we work the right side and the main color. So if you want the background color to change, that's the only thing that's going to change. The main color is going to stay the same throughout. So this column stays in blue, and the background color is going to change up. Slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit. If you put down your work and you're using several colors and you don't remember which one it was, you can always tell which color you previously worked with by the color of the yarn over on the row that you're working now. And then from there you can check in your pattern which one is the following one. So we finished all the stitches on the right side row. This is what it's going to look like afterwards. And then we work the wrong side, Again, wrong side row 1 with the contrast color. Brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit. Yeah, see, this is easy to fall for. We are not actually turning, this is just out of habit. When you're on autopilot, you're sliding back to the other end of the needle, and then we work the main color. Slip 1 yarn over front, brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over front, brioche purl, bring the yarn to the front, put it over the needle, slip the stitch, bring the yarn to the front, and brioche purl. This is what it looks like on the wrong side. I'm going to go ahead and work a couple of more stitches and rows, and then I'm going to show you a slightly larger sample. I've gone ahead and worked a couple of rows with changing contrast colors. This is what it looks like on the right side, and this is what it looks like on the wrong side. What I did was, on this first part, I was working the contrast color 1 on the right side and the wrong side, and then contrast color 2 on the right side, on the wrong side afterwards. This is why you have this 2 stitch or 2 row stripe. And then up here I was changing the contrast color on every row. So on the right side I was working contrast color 1, on the wrong side contrast color 2, and then on the next right side row I was working contrast color 3, and then after that I went right back and started the color repeat over, and this is what it looks like. So if you want a more subtle look to your garment, then changing the contrasting color is a good idea. If you like it to be a little bit louder, then switching the main color constantly is a good idea. So you can really play around with that. Like if you want the outside of your garment to look a little bit more supple or a little more low key, but you still want to have a little bit of fun with it, then you could just change the contrast color and have this going on the inside of your garment and still party on the inside if you don't want it to scream on the public side too much. But yeah, this is it for this week. Next week I'm going to show you till the brioche, and until then, have fun with your brioche knitting.